From the dude who gave you this and this brings you Death Stranding. Hey boys, it's Jake. Just want to talk about my impressions of Death Stranding. Death Stranding is a large open-world action game with a heavy narrative by Kojima Productions. This is the first game that Kojima has made since he left the pachinko manufacturers Konami. There has been nothing but hype revolving this game. If you've been completely in the dark about why there is so much hype, well, here's a quick backstory. Hideo Kojima is the visionary behind the world-renowned Metal Gear games. Konami was the publisher of said games. Kojima was working on a new Silent Hill game for Konami and made one of the creepiest demos I've ever played. And Konami decided to focus more on pachinko. Kojima said peace, and Sony said hello there. And that was the birth of Death Stranding. Now it's been years since the announcement, and it's finally here, and I've got some things to say. Before getting this game, I was actually quite skeptical after seeing some of the reviews. IGN gave it a 6.8, Giant Bomb gave it a 2 out of 5 stars, while GameSpot gave it a 9, and Famitsu gave it a perfect score. So it seemed like this game had a spectrum of enjoyment, and where would I fall on this? Well, I'm happy to report I fall on the more positive side. Let me preface that by saying I have not beaten it yet, but I did put 18 hours in 2 days, so I think that speaks volumes. I haven't done that since Breath of the Wild. The story I've experienced so far has been so entrancing I can't look away while it's happening. Every actor in the game is really showing their chops. Norman Reedus as our main protagonist, Sam, is great, and he has a very interesting story that I'm excited to see continue to unfold. The world building in this game is incredible. Kojima and team have put a lot of thought into this world, you can tell. Don't worry, I'll talk about gameplay in a second, but there are moments in the game between gameplay where you go into a private room to look at your equipment and heal yourself, and what I love doing in this room is turning on the in-game radio, because this game has an amazing soundtrack, and open up all the extra story stuff that you find in the world. It really expands upon the world in a big way. Some people say the story is too convoluted. Well, I haven't beaten it yet, but from what I've seen so far, I haven't had a hard time following along. Easily the biggest complaint I've seen in negative reviews is the gameplay is boring. And it's just a walking sim, and the game is just making deliveries. I gotta be honest, I don't understand this complaint at all. The reason I put so much time in is because I am madly in love with the gameplay loop. Let's hit that first point. People saying it's just a game about making deliveries. Why, if a game is about making deliveries, why does that automatically mean it's bad? One of my favorite games of all times is Crazy Taxi, where you're a fucking taxi driver. And another game I love is Stardew Valley, where you're a farmer. So to me, that complaint makes no sense. Second, it's just a walking sim? Well, yes, you do a lot of walking, but it's not just walking. Part of it is figuring out what packages to bring so you don't weigh yourself down. You know the weight of your cargo, so now you need to assess, should I bring some grenades or some ladders in case I come across tough to traverse areas? Then there's stuff called timefall. What timefall is it's rain that ages things extra fast, including your cargo. So if you find yourself in timefall, you need to find a way to get out of it as quickly as possible. But also in timefall, there are BTs. BTs are basically these creepy ghosts that try to capture and kill you. So you have to sneak past them, but you can't see them. Only your suit can detect them. So you have to tread very carefully. There's also human enemies in the world that you either have to avoid or take them out. But one of the most interesting things is after you discover a new area, other people's stuff that are also playing the game starts showing up in the world. This is a great addition because it helps you out, say, if you need to backtrack to make a delivery to a town you've already discovered. It also incentivizes you to add stuff, so together players start creating the best routes to get from city to city. You also get likes if people use your equipment. Likes are basically like currency in this game. The more likes you have at certain destinations, the more supplies and gifts they give you. Now, I'm not going to say it's a perfect game, because I do have some issues with it too. For example, there are 2 product placements in the game that completely tear me out of the game every time I see them. One being the infamous Monster Energy drink, and the second is an ad for AMC's Riding with Norman Reedus. This one is the most egregious because Norman Reedus is in the fucking game. He's not just in the game, he's the main character in the game. Another issue I have is sometimes the dialogue is a bit campy. I don't want to give too many details, for spoilers' sake, but a character's name is Die Hardman. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes the walking can be a little janky, but overall, I think this game is fantastic. I really don't understand where the criticisms are coming from, but I'm going to be honest, I'm kind of pissed I'm making this video right now instead of playing it. So I'll talk to you later. Please like, subscribe, or leave some comments about how dumb I am in the comments below.